Welcome to a red-hot Miami Beach for the day after, where we're going to take a little bit of analysis and a look back on yesterday's one-rounder GCL competition here in Miami. I'm John Kyle, and alongside me today we've got Frederick de Backer, of course, our leading commentator for the GC. He knows it all. We've got Marlon Zanotelli from our fourth place Pirates, and we've got Christian Ahlmann as well from the Shanghai Swans. Frederick, I'm just going to start with you. Really interesting day of sport with just one round for these riders, and Uliano made them work for it.
I thought you were going to start with a red-hot day of sport, just like my neck in the next 15 minutes, because I am burning up. Yeah, it was an interesting day of sport. Situations were what they were. I think it's unbelievable that the event could even take place when everybody landed here, whether it was Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday. This looked like a war zone.
Yeah.
And then to make it happen the way it did was very strong from the logistics crew, from the ground crew, from everybody around here. Now you have to come up with a solution to make the best of the weekend. It's a one-round competition, which is an unseen format. I think it's already very difficult for riders and managers to organize themselves well for Miami and for Mexico.
Heavy rain.
And then to come up with a one-round format is again throws everything in the bin. And then also Jan Vezzani has to be really. It's really difficult for him to build such a class that is both a Grand Prix qualifier, but also, of course, GCL decides to 81 GCL. He has to have it right straight away, so it's been a difficult weekend for him as well. We
just saw some imagery there of the rain and the conditions that we were dealing with. Marlon, if I could come to you, let's start with discussing, a good day, because you were 8 faults, the same as the winners, but on time you ended up 4th as a team. So I assume a little bit frustrating, or did you just feel there's a lot at stake here, we've just got to stay in the game, it's better to be slow and not have too many faults?
Well, definitely frustrating, because the horses jumped fantastic, both horses. Could have jumped both clear rounds. Our goal here was to try to keep the team up, and when we walked the course, it looked very tough. We didn't expect many clears, which wasn't many clears on the class. We both had our Grand Prix horses on, so we hope to do a nice clear round and not take too many risks on the time, and then try to keep the team up on the results, which in the end we were surprised. Actually, we came out of the ring in 3rd, then had quite a lot of the teams to come, and we finished 4th. So in the end was a good day for the team, and we're still there fighting for the points.
Christian, team-wise, a mixed day for you guys on Shanghai Swans, but your own performance, you've got to be pleased with that, and our Statsmeister tells me, it's what, 500 GCL points picked up now, and does that feel like an achievement, or does it just feel like you've been at this for a very long time?
He's just asking, how old are you?
No, I really like the team competition, and with Solid I have an unbelievable horse. He jumps many clear rounds. He is very motivated, every day more or less the same. He tries in the small ring like here, the same in Mexico or other rings, so I'm really happy to have him, and that's why the results are a little bit better.
It's interesting that you say that. That is more or less always the same. You've got horses that bring out amazing results and then come out of a ring with 12 or 8 the day after. That happens, of course. But with Solid, his consistency is amazing. I think that the horse doesn't get enough praise because it's easy for everybody to talk about Dominator wins 2 launching global champions, 2 Grand Prix last season, and he's impressive and he's that big boy and he's screaming all the time. And Solid Gold is a little bit more the quiet guy in the corner, but he's unbelievably valuable.
Smaller brother.
Yeah, smaller brother,
but
indeed.
Those are the horses we talk about, though, forever and ever in history, isn't it? It's the horses that can win in the big ring, like like when we used to be at Hamburg or in Mexico City, and then also the small rings like Monaco or here. Like they're the heroes of the sport, aren't they?
Absolutely, and I think they're really difficult to find. But the horse like Solid Gold does not really stand out by his appearance. And maybe stands in the shadow of Dominator. It's horses, I'm thinking like Ulysse of Steve Guerdin was also that kind of horse, and you'll have those horses as well that really support that number 1 horse to relax and to rest. But if you look at how Solid does it, it's unbelievable, because not only does he support, he's at least as good, and basically in GCL he's even better than Dominator. So you can't praise Solid Gold enough, I think.
Oh, and actually it's one of I think many horses who jumps really well in the young horses classes or like 130s, 40s in the national shows and whatever. And at the end, they end up like the really good ones. Nobody expected to have a horse like that, but from show to show, from year to year, they accept the shows, they accept the sport better and better, and they go for it. But as a rider, you have a feeling for it. You can't be sure, but often the horses are the best ones at the end.
Sort of two general technical questions, I suppose, for you. Marlon, like, if I ask you maybe about the footing, like putting down the footing temporarily at any show is, you know, it's a challenge to get right. And then to have had this footing lifted and put back down and so little opportunity for you guys to train and work on it, was it? It really looked good. It looked like it was supporting you guys as it should, despite how late it went down.
I think just like Frederick said, we couldn't believe it. I actually changed my flight to a day later because I really couldn't believe the show was going to go on. The job they did here is amazing. The footing feels like nothing happened 2 days ago, and we all know the circus was all the storm.
That's a bizarre thing because they must have changed something with the footing. I remember last year when we were here, we also had a lot of rain. And then they even had to cancel a class because the footing couldn't hold it. And now they've changed something because it really held well. Juliana Vezzani was delighted with the quality.
There were just a couple of considerations last year. We had about 1 hour more jumping. We needed 45 minutes to drain the arena, and the sun was going to set in 90 minutes. So none of these things, the sums didn't add up last year. But yeah, like they did a great job and they moved it around. And Christian, then, you know, again, do you jump clear? And it wasn't easy to jump clear, so you're probably going to say yes. But for you, Uliano, you know, did he pitch it just right to get the right test out of a single round and also prepare people for a Grand Prix so quickly?